Okay. Testing. Audio. Installation will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so let's see. I will be installing Hyperbola GNU / Linux-Libre. Let's see how this goes. This is my first time installing this operating system. And in fact, any kind of an Arch-based operating system that does not have a GUI installer. I have in the past installed Arch-based systems which come with a GUI installer. I have done that before, but I have not installed vanilla Arch ever before, or any other Arch-based system which has no GUI installer. Right, so let's just get started with this. I have this manual here, this installation guide. I will be following it, and I will also be commentating on what is it that I'm going to be doing. I will more or less be copying most of the commands, but not all of them. I will, of course, customize it to my liking, of course. Right, so let's see. This is SDA, I wonder if that's the same here. This is a virtual machine, by the way. SDA seems to be the same. Yes. Let's see. DOS is good. I'll make a new partition. Oh yes, the first difference from the guide, of course, immediately right at the beginning is going to be 4.4 gigabytes, it says. What if I use the same? Will that be the correct size? Yes, that should be good. Yeah, right. I'm only going to be creating one partition. I'm not going to be creating a swap, because this is for the virtual machine and I don't need a swap on the virtual machine. What was the type by default? id type 83 Linux. I think that might be correct already by default, so I don't think I have to change that. Bootable set. Right, changes to the disk. Do I have to type yes? Okay. Partition table has been altered. Right. So that should be it already. There's nothing else to it than that. That's it. So does the speaker already work here? Can I see the device? Yeah. So it has one partition. Okay, so it works already as is. Okay, good. I'm not gonna be activating any swap because I didn't create a swap. I'm gonna go straight to the mount. Yeah, SDA1 dev SDA completing device. What? But anyway, SDA1. That's gonna be going to mount at the same. Wait, what did I do wrong? Mount dev SDA. Did I misspell something? So did I do the CF disk wrong? Was I supposed to set some sort of a... That thing says it's primary. Did I do the CF disk wrong? Boot id type 83 Linux. That should be correct. Well, 83, let's see if there's something else here I should choose. Linux swap, no. That seems correct to me. I don't think I did anything wrong here. I'll just quit, yes. But if I look at that, SDA1 partition, yes, so I don't see what's wrong. Or maybe it worked but it just gave me a weird message as a result. Mount dev SDA1. This is wrong. I first thought bad option, bad super block. Missing code page or Hyperbola. What on earth are you talking about? What are you talking about? What could that mean? Right away the installation is already going wrong. What's going on now? What do you possibly mean by that? I've never seen that happen before. I don't know what that means. Wrong FS type. What? What's that supposed to mean? All you need to do is mount the... Did I misspell something? I should write again. Mount /dev/sda1/nnd. Maybe I just misspelled something. No. That doesn't seem like how it should go. Maybe it wants me to do the mkfs extension for first and then mount it. That seems strange, but I'll try that. mkfs extension for /dev/sda1. Discarding was boxed on. That seems to have worked. Okay, so now if I do... Okay, now it worked. Well, are these in the wrong order? Come on, who put this? This installation guide is in the wrong order. These commands are out of order. This should be done before the mounting. Apparently, that's ridiculous. What's going on there? Who put this together? Come on, get your act straight. Your installation guide is in the wrong order. Whatever. I got past that, so let's move on. Mount position. Yeah, I don't do any other partitions. I'll just have that one root partition. Okay, so I missed that one. I have to go to the load keys. Yeah, because of the order was wrong. I forgot this. Almost. Let's see. Load keys. User share KDB key maps. Let's see what's in there. ls user share. What was it? KDB. KDB. User share KDB. Oh, but of course I don't have it installed, but I mean, would it still be there? I mean, of course it would, because it's in the live environment. KDB, of course it would be. Why does it do that? It doesn't exist. Okay, that's interesting. User share KDB. KDB. Key maps. That's bizarre. There's nothing there. There's no such directory. I'll just say load keys. Who cares? I'll just go with load keys UK. I don't care. Load keys UK. I can go with that. It's just a virtual machine. I don't really care. I can live with that. Whatever. Let's move on. Verification of system date. Let's see. Date. That seems about right. Yes. I don't have to set that manually. Let's go to base system installation. Okay, backstrap mount base. Backstrap mount base. As far as I remember, the Linux-Libre kernel was installed at the end of the installation guide. So I'm gonna do that at the end according to the guide. Let's see if I misspelled anything. Backstrap mount base. Correct. Let's just do that. No, I don't know how long this will take. I imagine it shouldn't take too long, because it's just the base. Oh, by the way, should I have installed text editor? I think I should have. Does it come with nano pre-installed? Let's hope so. Yeah, let's hope that it has nano included in the base, because I didn't install the fucking text editor. I forgot. Shit. This could be bad if I need the nano editor. Let's see. There could potentially be a text editor already included. As far as I'm aware, it comes with all the gnu+linux distros already. Wait, that's Linux-Libre already being installed, so it does actually come with the base. Interesting. So I wonder what that was at the end of the installation guide. Let's actually take a look. What was that then? There was something at the end about the Linux-Libre kernel stuff. No, it was just configuring. Yeah, I didn't read this properly in advance. I sort of just looked at it. Oh yeah, that's what that was then. It was just configuration stuff. Okay. Right. System date was correct. Backstrap done. Backstrap. Well, I'm not gonna bother myself with any of those wireless things. I don't need any of that because I'm in a virtual machine. It's never going to have a wireless connection. It just has some sort of a simulated virtual Ethernet connection or something. It's a virtual machine. So I can skip that. A fast step. Shihurut. How's that be? I've heard someone pronounce it as churut. So I guess that's what it is. Shihurut. CH root. Shroot. Whatever. Only took like half a minute, that's pretty quick. Let's see. Can a fast tab OP mount? Can a fast tab? Let's go with mount. Put that wrong symbol. Because I used the UK keyboard or something. I remember that. That's where that comes from. Okay. Mount edition of step. Okay. Mount edition of step. Mount correct. Let's root mount. Right. Now I'm in. Oh wait, is the nano installed? Yes, it is. Excellent, it does come with the base. That's good. Echo localhost, yes, that's a fine name. Echo localhost. It's the host name. It's just host name. Yeah, that's that. No, this seems like I have to manually type all of this. That's gonna be annoying, but I'll go do that. Oh yes, that also references nano right there, so that shows that nano comes in with the base. But I already know that, but the other nano. What was it? Hosts. It's already written. Okay, so what was I supposed to do here? Add the same host name, i.e. localhost. So it's already by default host. So if I added my own name, then I would add that here. If I put my custom computer host name, I would have now written that there. But it comes by default with localhost, so that's the default. Oh yes, I understand. Okay, so it's by default localhost already. Well, I'm fine with that, so I'm gonna keep the default. So I don't have to write anything here. Wait, what is that? No, that's just a comment. Yeah. Alright, so I can just ignore that because I'm gonna stick with the localhost. That's fine for me. Now what is this? Yes, the time zone stuff. Let's do that. Share zone info. Zone info. Let's go to Europe, Helsinki, etc. Local time. Local preference in local.conf. I'm gonna look into what that thing is. I'm gonna go nano that and see what's inside of that file. Etc. Nano local.conf. See what's in here. That's fine for me. I'll use that. What else? I mean, I imagine I don't have to add anything, though it doesn't say anything. So it just So if I had a different language I wanted to use, I could just go put that there now, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm fine with English. No, it's no local again, another local thing. Local. What? Local again? No, local again. Again. Oh yes, I have to go here and uncomment the language. What was it? Let's start with US or NUS UTF-8. I'll go with that. N. Australians and Canadas and all that stuff. Okay, let's see. NUS, these are the 3 options of UTF-8 is good. I'll go with UTF-8. Those ISOs are weird. I'm not gonna be using some weird ISO thing. I'll use UTF-8. That's good. UTF-8 it is. So yeah, that's the same here, also selected. Locally that or hyphen. Locally hyphen again. That was fast. Good. More language stuff. Echolang and with UTF-8. Echolang. What was it? Equals. NUS UTF-8 N NUS UTF-8 not 8 2 NUS UTF-8 etc. locally.conf. Again the locally.conf. UTF-8 is that's correct. No misspellings. Then export your chosen locale. Export. That's an interesting command. Lang equals N US UTF-8. Is that the same? Yeah, that's the same. Export. That doesn't return anything. I imagine it worked. Add console key map and front preferences. Confd key maps. Conf.d. What do I need to do here? Add console key map and front preferences. Might be by default already correct ones. So that's the default. But didn't I go with the UK at the beginning? So should I use that here too? Yeah, probably. I'll go with the UK here also. Blah 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 blah. That should be fine by default. Let's skip the UK, whatever. I wonder why it uses UK here, but I mean it's just for the British, so that's why it's UK. Yeah. Well, this might be the UK because that's what it says in the guide, so I'll just use whatever, who cares. Doesn't really matter, it's just a virtual machine, I can use the UK keyboard. I'll just go with whatever it says. I'm just using UK there instead, yeah, whatever. Let's see. RC update archives default. RC. More time zone stuff. Okay. No USR share zone info. And that goes to etc local time. Didn't I do that already? What was it that I did? I did something like this before. But that's the same thing. What? Local time. That's the same thing again. Why does it duplicate that? What? That's the exact same, isn't it? Yes. It's at our local time. Just the same command again. Why do I need to do it multiple times? What's wrong with this guide? That's the same thing again. These things are out of order there and there are duplicates. That's really confusing. What? Maybe those are different. That's zone and subzone. The thing is Europe and Athens. But this is the exact same. That's really strange. Why do I need to do it multiple times? It's the same command. What? What's up with that? I don't think I have to do it again. But then it tells me to do it at this point in the install. Or does it just have like separate mentions like so once it goes to each section and each section just has what it needs to have, and that's why there are duplicates, because it's technically a part of different section. This is the time zone section and this is the hardware clock section. So there are different sections. They are not necessarily meant to be followed in order. That could be it. But that's very unintuitive. That's a bit strange. Well, I don't think I should do that again. Should I? Seems a bit strange. It's not like it should hurt if I do that. Oh wait, no! I did that back then when it was not... Oh yes, of course. Because the root. Yes, of course. Of course I need to do it again. Pay attention. I'm gonna fuck up the installation if I don't pay attention. Of course. Because it's not there yet. Because of the root. Etc. Local time. But then now it says it exists. So did I do it again? So maybe I was correct first and... What's the contents of it anyway? I don't know. So maybe it was after that after all. That's just nonsense. What? The stupid thing messed up my terminal. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh, that's stupid. Getting the results messed up my terminal. Oh, that's annoying. How am I gonna proceed with the installation now? Let's just try my luck and see if it works still. It might just be the visuals. Might still work just fine. Well, that's weird. I guess getting the results of a binary file are a bad idea. And my fonts are messed up. I wonder if I could fix that if I exit the churro and go back to it. Yeah, that fixes it. No, that's fine. Let's proceed. But I'm still confused about this. Why are there multiple of this? But no, that was after it. So no, it wasn't before. It was after it. The root was first. That's just weird. Why is this guide trying to confuse me? So no, I was correct first. And then that root was a mistake. So that was already done. So it's a duplicate. I don't need to do it again. Right. Clock. Systo Hayes C. What? I misspell it? Systo. Oh, I misspelled it, of course. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Old password. Okay, password has been changed. Add your user to relevant group success. User? I'm using the root user. Do I have to add a new user? It doesn't say anything about adding a new user at this time. What? A root doesn't need any groups. Doesn't say anything about adding a regular user here. Is that just implicit? Am I supposed to do it at this point without the guide telling me to do so? As possible. Maybe the guide just leaves out things that should be obvious and self-evident to someone, but I don't think that necessarily is obvious and self-evident because it leaves room for guessing. All it is a guess. If I have to guess whether or not I should do that now. That's strange. Add your user. What user? The root user. I don't think the root user needs any. But I'll just do it anyway, but maybe it does. I could be mistaken, I'll just do it. Because that's what the thing says. Username. But what username? What username? There is no user on the system. Am I supposed to add a new user? I could add a new user. But it doesn't tell me to do so, it just tells me to. But whatever. I'll write it exactly as it says. Maybe that works. Okay, fine. I'll do that. Username, no such file or directory. So there was no special syntax for that. So that's just nonsense. I'm supposed to write my own username there. That's what it looks like. But if there was some special syntax for that, I've never seen that syntax before, but I guess it's possible. I think it'd be using some bizarre syntax with where the username with these things, it pulls some username from somewhere, but that would just be the root user. So then I should just add the root user to that group. Okay, I'll try that. What? Huh? Let me spell. Oh, I misspelled. Adding user root to group video. But why doesn't it just say root? Why username in these weird angle brackets? What's with that? That's strange. Whatever. Who cares? Let's move on. Group. Pacman as group. I think the repository should already be synced. I think that should be the case already, isn't that so? Group. Yes, proceed with installation. i386 PC. Do I really need to use 386? That's strange. Okay, I'll do what the thing says. I imagine it still works because like it shouldn't matter. The thing can run in the architecture itself should be able to deal with wherever that is. Target equals i386 PC recheck SDX installing for i386 PC platform group. Error, cannot find group device for SDX. Oh, SDX. That's supposed to be SDA. Of course, right. What? Of course. Yes, of course. Yes, of course, SDX, that X stands for A in this case. But hey, you know what? That actually doesn't need to be even SDX, because if you're using those NVMe things, they don't have SDA. They have that weird NVMe 0 something like that, the path name. So actually, that's not even SD necessarily. If you're installing it on real hardware and you have those NVMe drives or something, they have that weird path. Or actually, I don't know, who cares? But I've seen those different paths. They don't always use SD letter. So that's something you just have to know. But yeah, the installation guide somewhere did mention that you have to know something about these GNU Linux systems already. So yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's perfectly reasonable in that sense, yes. That's fair. But yeah, that's something to note. It really does mean it. You have to know something about the system to do this. Indeed, it's not for someone who's not at all knowledgeable in this. Definitely relies on pre-existing knowledge. It just says SDX. How are you supposed to know that you're supposed to replace the X with the letter A unless you just know that already? You know, that's one of those things you have to know. Yes, that's fair. The operating system mentions that it's for those users, so whatever. I'm not gonna say that that's a bad thing for the guide, but whatever. Okay, let's move on. Group mkconfig. Group mkconfig. Mkconfig. Oh. Boot. Is that a duplicate? Well, why is the same thing twice? That's the exact same command. Do I have to run it twice? To configure the bootloader, you have to install it like that, generate the file group C. Okay. Why is this thing twice here? What? Okay, whatever. I'll do it once. I'm not gonna do it twice. That's weird. Boot. Grub CFG. Grub CFG. Make sure you miss anything. Grub mkconfig. Oh. Boot grub CFG. Found Linux found initorm image. Found file pack initorm fs. Okay, that works. I'm not gonna run it again because that's weird. Let's see, backstrap. Mount and grub. Yes. What is it? Backstrap, misspelled again. Back. Oh, wait. No. I'm supposed to be doing that outside the chroot. After chrooting. So by after chrooting, yeah. So that means I'm supposed to get out of the. So that's supposed to. At this point, I'm supposed to get out of the chroot then. But it says here to get rid of it. What? Why is this out of order? Like the order is wrong. What? What's going on? Why is it laid out like this? Here it says to get out of the chroot. But then I'm already supposed to get out of the chroot here. Install chroot after chrooting. I mean, I'll install group after chrooting. So, configure systems later. What? That's just weird. What's going on here? Why is it like this? Why is it like this? But didn't I install group already? I'm pretty sure I installed group already. Didn't I do that already somewhere? Base, that's just base. Step. Mount. So that's where the chroot happens. But the group is uninstalled, isn't it? Didn't I install it already at some point? Somewhere I installed the group. There, I mean I just did it, yes. Okay. Right. Backstrap GNU group. So I'm supposed to exit the chroot now. Let me try to think about this for a moment. What is going on here? Am I supposed to do it right now? But why do I need to backstrap it when it's already done? I already have group installed. Why do I need to install it again? I'm supposed to be doing it like outside. What if I just skip this? This is just weird. I don't understand why it is here. I've already installed group, I just did it there. And I'm supposed to get out of the churro here somewhere. Where was it? Well, who cares, it's later. There. Exit. Right here, exit. I assume that this is supposed to be in order, but it's just wrong. The guide is messed up. This is just a weird guide. Like, how did this happen? Has anyone actually followed this guide and then realized that it doesn't make any sense? What? How does this happen? How do you mess it up like this? What? Backstep mount group. This is so confusing. Am I supposed to do it now? But I've already installed group. I just installed it there. Do I need to install it twice? Do I need to install the base system? I mean the live environment, I mean. But why do I need to install that? But backstep install it on the system. But I just install it there. What? I'm so confused. What's going on here? Why does it say that? What on earth is this? What if I just skip that? That's too weird. I'm just gonna skip that. That's too weird. Okay, now it's definitely wanting me to get out of the thing. There it says exit. Okay, I'm gonna exit now. Exit. Exit that thing. I'm just gonna do the thing. Okay, whatever. Backstrap mount group. That's what it wants me to do. So backstrap mount. I'm gonna fuck up my system. Mount. Backstrap mount group. That was fast. I think it's already done, so it didn't do anything. I mean, it's already installed, so what was this for? Whatever, let's move on. Who cares? What a weird guide. This guide is messed up. What is going on here? Why is that there? What? Search Linux. I'll do that. Backstep. That was fast. Did it work? Oh wait, there are alternatives bootloaders. Oh yeah, mistake. That was a mistake. Because these are options. I can choose either group or syslinux. So I wasn't supposed to do anything with the syslinux. That was a mistake. Right, that was a mistake. I made a mistake. I was definitely not supposed to do that because I'm gonna use group. Shit, that was a mistake. Could I still uninstall it? Removing packages, Linux. I could potentially still uninstall that. I probably fucked up my system. I don't need 2 bootloaders. I should pay more attention to what I'm doing. This guide is just so confusing. Yes. I wonder how different the vanilla Arch installation is from this. I've seen some tutorial videos on the internet. It doesn't seem that different from this actually. It's pretty similar. I've looked at those tutorials before just to see what it is. No, that was a mistake. That was a big mistake. I do not need 2 bootloaders. I wonder if I can just remove it. Or... let's see. Because... I wonder how fucked up my system will get if I have multiple bootloaders installed. That might just ruin everything. Let's see. Let's go straight into it and see if I can remove it. So let's see if I can still remember the pacman syntax. Pacman as... I totally don't remember the syntax. Pacman is probably my least used package manager. I never remember how the switch thing works. What if I just use R? Will R remove? Misspelled that. pacman. No, I've forgotten how the pacman syntax works. No, that's not exactly a good thing when I'm installing an Arch-based system. I do not even remember how the pacman syntax works. That is just some experimentation. It's just a virtual machine. It's not like I'm gonna install this as my main daily driver system. This is just some experimentation. Let's see. I have no idea how it was done. This switch it's just so weird. Why don't they just say install and remove like apt does and super and DNF, and they all have English words that can be used. What's wrong with the switch? Why do they use this weird thing? I don't even know if that's the correct way to do it. Let's see if I can remove that actually. Because I don't want to have two bootloaders, that's really weird. I hope that worked. Let's see, packages, Linux Git, blah blah blah, 1.3, total install size 3.45. Okay, so that removed the thing entirely, it didn't install any dependencies. Good. I might have just dodged a bullet there, so to speak. Yeah, I don't want to have two bootloaders, that's really weird. But now that I did that, I want to go and make sure that the group configs are safe. I don't see why that would conflict with it, but I'm just gonna go make sure anyway, because why not? Let's see. Group config. So boot group cfg. No. Boot group cfg. I don't think any of this should be influenced by that syslinux thing, because I didn't do anything with the syslinux. I just installed it and then I uninstalled it. I didn't do any configuration, and I don't think it should have any. I don't think it should do anything like that. Just seems unlikely to me that it would just mess up the system just by being installed. No, if it has some dependencies, those might conflict and all that, but it didn't have any conflict dependencies, so that's good. So I think I'm safe. I just corrected the mistake. That's good. That should be fine then. Oh yeah, that's really annoying. Why is that like that? Why is it like that? Why is it like this? Why is it like this? What a mess this guide is. This guide is really bad. I don't like it at all. It's a stupid guide. I could write a better guide myself. And I have never installed this operating system before. Okay, so I think that should be it then, because I've done all these things and like that is, why is that there? Why is that there? I've already installed. I just installed group there. What is this? Who wrote this GUI? I mean this manual. Who wrote it? That's weird. Really weird. I don't understand why it's like this. I understand that there are two different options for the bootloader. Yeah, I understand. I get it. I made a mistake there. I didn't pay attention. Oh, yeah, but still, come on. Why do I have to install group twice? Really weird. Unwanted report. Yeah. Okay, so root hyper iso. Post installation. That's where the user is added to the system. Yes. Angle bracket username. Why didn't it just say root? What else would the root be called? It's just root. But that's really weird. Yes. Who wrote this GUI? I mean manual. Why do I keep saying GUI? Back then when there was the add the root user to the video group. Why does it say angle bracket username angle bracket? It's root. It's just root. It doesn't have any other names. But it didn't say anything about adding other users. What was that? What was that? That's really weird. What a strange guide. You can't just copy paste these commands, because you just mess up everything if you do so. Because this guide is so bad. You really do have to know. Maybe that's intentional. What if that's intentional? They wrote this guide specifically intentionally to be this messed up, so that it deters any unknowing people who don't know how to do things, so that they don't install this operating system. It self-selects the people who get to use this operating system, because the guide doesn't work. So you have to fix the guide yourself when you're following it, whatever. I don't know, that's just a random idea. Who cares? Let's move on. Mount. New system. Okay, so now it's time to go there. Mount enough commentary or whatever. Mount. Right, then reboot. I think everything should be done. I've done everything pretty much according to the guide, except for the parts where the guide was so stupid that I have to do things differently. Whatever. Now let's boot into the system. Yes, group works just fine. I didn't fuck up the bootloader. Excellent. Right, so I'm safe. That worked just fine. Root. Post installation. I'm almost done. Let's see. First read the pacman conf. Enabling the repositories you need. Okay, so let's see. Nano, etc. pacman.conf. Now add the repositories I need. Okay. Okay, add the repositories you need. It's that's the file. That's the file. I mean, see the pacman conf 5-man page for options and repository directives. General options. Default values this text. I don't care to change the default, that's fine for me. I'm not gonna mess with that. Pacman I don't care about that. Blah 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 nonsense. Pacman accepts packages signed by keys to local clearing. See pacman key. Okay, that would be fine with whatever those are by default. No to run pacman key. You must run pacman key in before first using pacman. Okay, that's interesting. Pacman key init before first using pacman. Okay, that's important. I think that's important. Yes, I'll do that. Do I have to run both of those commands? Init. The local keyring can then be populated with the keys of all arcs/hyperbola packagers with pacman key populate arcs and pacman key populate hyperbola. I'm gonna go with just hyperbola. Or should I also use arcs? I don't know. Do I need arcs? I mean, I imagine I can do it later if I need the arcs packages installed for some reason. I should be fine with the hyperbola, I think. Okay. Repositories can be defined here or include from another file. Pacman repositories in the order defined here. Local customers can be added here or insert separate files. Repositories set fields. Almost with a demo replaced by the name of the current repository. Will have arcs replaced by the name of the architecture. Entries are of the format repo name server include path. Now that is a mystery. figure out. Include mirror list. Okay, now this is something to decipher. We have to figure out how this thing works. Apparently, let's just go see if this thing says anything. Edit the repositories in it. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I have to read this a couple of times because this is the first time I'm doing this. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing with this other than what it's telling me, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. Can we define blah blah blah. Yes. What else will have repo replace with it? Huh? What's that supposed to mean? So repository entries are of the format. I could check out what's in these files. Pacman d mirror list. I'll go see what's in there. Pacman.d says mirror list. I imagine I'm supposed to uncomment whatever I have here. I'm gonna find a good mirror here. Let's see something that's close to me. Let's see. That might be pretty close. Lithuania. Boston USA Free Software Foundation. That's interesting. They have their own repository for that. Netherlands repositories are usually pretty good. At least for me, of course. Amsterdam, Netherlands. There are a lot of Netherlands. I wonder why there are so many Netherlands here. Netherlands people like their gnu+linux distros. And Lithuania Foundation again. Where are the two Free Software Foundation? Is that a duplicate? Why are there two of them? What's the difference? I'm not gonna use it, but I wonder what's the difference. What is the difference between this? But it's the same. Why are the two of the same? What? Repository. Orgs, repo. Stop. It's the same. Why are the duplicates? This is so weird. Wait, no, it has difference. No, it's only for down. Oh yeah, of course, right. What is the difference? Only for development and debugging. Of course, right. So I can ignore all those. So only the things on this above here are acceptable. I'm not gonna change that. Let's see. So I can ignore all those development things. Darknet mirror for I2P things. I can probably ignore that nonsense too. Node. Yeah. I'm gonna ignore all those Darknet and Tor and I2P things. I don't need any of that. So only these ones from this one above are good. So there's Lithuania, Netherlands, Boston, another Netherlands, Tokyo and Ecuador. That's in the middle of the two American continents. So I'm not gonna use any of those. Netherlands 2 and Lithuania. Let's see. That thing says work hours 24/7 and this does not define work hours. So Netherlands seem like the best options to me. So should I use Utrecht or Amsterdam? Response. Let's see. Because it doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess I would just pick one. It shouldn't matter too much. If I just go with... But now I'm confused. Because these are all the same, and there are so many of them already uncommented, am I supposed to comment out the ones I don't want, instead of commenting... that might be actually what I'm supposed to do. If I'm supposed to uncomment... No, that's wrong symbol. What? Where do I get that thing? Stupid UK keyboard. There! I'm gonna get rid of those weird things, okay? So So I'm supposed to get rid of those ones that I don't want. So if I don't want Ecuador and I don't want Japan, I keep Utrecht and I'll get rid of Boston and Amsterdam and Lithuania. I guess I'll just do that because I only need one server. Or is there harm in having multiple ones? I'll see what happens with one. I'll go and uncomment them again if it doesn't work. Fine, do I need to do something else? Configure them. I'll just try that. I don't think there's anything necessarily that I have to do anymore. SUY. I mean SYU. See if that works. No, of course it doesn't work. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to change that too. Of course. The formatting, the repo and arc stuff that the thing talked about. Forgot already. So, what was it? Repo, arcs. The thing talked about that here. The repo and the arcs. Oh yeah, and I forgot the command I was supposed to run first. The key init thing. Right, forgot about that too. Yeah. Now let's see, what was that about? What else will have repo replaced by the name of the current repo? What is the name of the current repo? What? What am I supposed to do here? What? What am I supposed to do here? What? Stick level, optional, blah blah blah, nonsense. I'm supposed to look at the man page then? This seems like a big mystery to try to figure out. What if I just try with the pacman key init thing first? Pacman key init, pacman. If that's supposed to be done first, key init. That doesn't say anything. However, pacman key populate Hyperbola appending keys blah 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 blah. No need for a trusted DB check. Can I now update? No, of course not. Failed to retrieve core DB1 blah 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 blah. Could I supposed to... Do I have internet connection? Ping. Oh, I don't have internet. Of course. I don't have internet. Why don't I have internet? Where did internet go? Oh, that's interesting. No wonder it doesn't work. I don't have internet connection for some reason. That's fascinating. Where did my internet connection go? Should I have installed manually some sort of a network? Maybe. Maybe I failed my experiment. Maybe I should have installed some sort of network manager manually in the installation process. That's possible. The live environment had its network already working by default, so I just assumed that there was network. Maybe that was a wrong assumption to make. Maybe I should have installed a network program of some kind that the manual failed to mention. Let's see. So the internet is missing. And I don't know why. But let's see. Is there a need for a separate network program? That's possible. That I need to install a separate network program, but then that's a mystery. I might have failed my installation. If I don't have internet, then I can't install anything. And then I'm just forever stuck in this terminal environment. So then the system might as well be useless to me because I want to have a interface, a GUI interface. So I wonder why isn't there an internet connection? Should I have installed separately a program, a network program? It's possible I was supposed to install a network program. Another one of those things that the user is just supposed to know. That the guide fails to mention. But it's not including the base. I mean, I would just include something like that in the base. Well, I guess that's too big of an assumption to make. One cannot assume that it just is included. It would make sense if internet was included in the base, but I guess that's too big of an assumption to make, yeah. Yeah, that might be too big of an assumption to make. I've said that 3 times now, but yeah. So apparently internet isn't included in the base then. Is that the correct deduction from this situation? That's annoying. That's unfortunate. I must conclude this experiment a failure then. It seems that my knowledge on the systems was not as good as it would have needed to be to install this operating system. But why isn't the network in the base? That would make that's such a simple thing, because like, what the guide itself mentions that I should update the system, so like, is it not an essential part of the system to have internet connection? It would make sense for something like that to be included in the base. Also something that the guide fails to mention, that I have to separately install some network program. But that doesn't make any sense to me. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be in the base? It's possible that there's something else wrong. It might not be that. Maybe there's just something else wrong. Let's see if I can just ping an IP if the DNS is broken. No, network is unreachable. That's lame. Ping, connect, network is unreachable. What if that's a fluke? Just reboot. See what happens. But the installation might not yet be a failure. Because the live environment is still connected, I could root into the system and install some sort of a network program. I can still do that. Because the live environment had internet. So I can still do that. If I need to install some separate program. But why on earth would that be? That's just a stupid thing. That's ridiculous. That's just stupid. Ping. It's a DNS server. Oh no, it's waiting. It's getting a connection. Is it getting a connection? Nah, it's not getting a connection. That's lame. Come on. What is this? Do I need to manually configure some network somewhere? That the guide again fails to mention. Well, that's annoying. What a joke. One would think that for a system where it has all these package repositories and all that, it would just include network in the base. But that is too much to ask. Oi. But I'm gonna have to go figure out what I'm supposed to install, because I have no idea what I'm supposed to install. Network manager is that GUI thing, I think. But I can't search for it now. What if I just go into the live environment again and I'm just gonna search the repository? Live environment. I'll search through the repository to see if there's some network program I need to install. I can still root into the hard drive and install whatever I need to install. So pacman SS network. What would it be called? Network. Warning, what? But this has internet. But it's just the stupid. Yeah, that's working just fine. The internet connection is working. Shit. The internet connection is working just fine, but does it have name DNS. DNS works, yes. So DNS works and all that. Internet has no issue here. Okay. So the backstrap command works, but that might not be pulled from the repository. That might be pulled from the ISO actually. Yeah, I actually don't know where those come from. Backstrap base. Where does it come from? But I do recall seeing a download. So that means that it would be coming from the internet, from a repository. So therefore it should have repositories enabled by default. Pacman, but this thing didn't work. So if I search for something like the network, as type network, database file does not exist. But that also might be that there's just no name, no package name network. Maybe I have to write a specific name for the. I'm not that familiar with the Pacman package manager. It has such a bizarre syntax, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But actually, yeah, that might be wrong with the. That might be a fault with the Pacman thing. Let's see if I can just install a program. What's a program I could install? HateStop. Let's install HateStop. No, it's just it has a repository issue, yeah. But Backstrap worked. Backstrap worked, so. But I don't know what I'm supposed to install. I would need to look into that and try to figure out what to install. So I might need to end the video here if I'm gonna have to go and figure out what to install. I don't know, I might make a sequel video to this where I explain what I did to get the network working, if I get it working. So do I need to install a separate program? Maybe. So I'm gonna go and look into that, find some network manager program that I need to install. Network manager. Let's see if that has anything. A network manager name doesn't have anything, but that's of course just an arbitrary name. What name would something be in under? Oh, and also the package thing doesn't work, the repository. But Backstrap worked. Who cares? Let's end the video here. Hello, I'm back. I was able to get the internet working off camera, and as it turns out, it was as easy as just running that command right there above on the screen. RC update add dhcpcd default. That was as easy. Well, you can read the thing on the screen. I don't know if I said it right, who cares. Now, that was the thing I did, and then also, according to the guide, I also added the root to these groups also, just in case. So all these groups that a new user should be added to, I also added the root to those users, those groups, just in case. And I also looked at this IP link command while I was investigating the issue, and I also ran the IP link set up, I think was, and then enps0s2, and I did that also off camera. Yeah. Or I don't know if that was the command. It was something like this. I also did that off camera. I don't know if that was necessary or if this did anything. But this is also a command I ran off camera. So that might be also necessary. You might try that if you're following this video or whatever. I don't know if this is a good video to recommend following, because this is my first time doing this, but whatever. That's what I did. I ran those commands. Whether both of those were necessary or not, I don't know. But that I got the internet working. I can now ping fsf.org. The internet is working, that's good. So I'll resume with the installation guide, and I can add my new user, and I'll also install a desktop environment, and then that'll be the conclusion then for the video. So let's continue. Oh yes, I was actually left at the pacman. Let's see if that works now. Pacman SYU. Let's see if that works. Core is up to date, extra is up to date, starting full step upgrade, there's nothing to do. Well, excellent. That works. It's now able to get internet and there was apparently no need for me to configure anything in the package manager configuration. That's good. So now let's see. User add g users ms. User add g user ms. Wait, users. User add g users. User add g users ms. Okay, yes, that is correct. Bin bash username. Let's call the user usery with an I. Usery. Right. Okay. Then all these groups, I'll add the user to all the groups. User mod g ag video usery. Now just have to go through all those things and add the user to all them. I also, like I mentioned already, I added the root to these user groups also, just in case that's necessary. Off camera. Optical. Power network. Power network. Input. Wheel games. I don't know about what else to add. I'll just do the games, who cares? Why not? Who cares? Games. I don't know if I should add to the wheel group, because I like using sudo. I mean, I was saying the exact opposite. I don't like using sudo necessarily. Root is just fine. Oh, and also, by the way, this doesn't even use sudo. This uses doas. So yeah, that's actually interesting. This doesn't even use sudo. But anyway, I like to use the root user itself. I don't necessarily need to have the wheel group. Yeah, I'm fine with having a root, especially because this is a virtual machine and I don't really need to, whatever. So that user should actually be done already. Do I need to do anything else? I don't think I necessarily need to do it. Just go in. It's asking for password, but there's no password, so I'm just gonna hit enter. Doesn't let me in. Okay. Do I need to add a password for that? Let's see. Okay. No. It just needs to have that. Okay, user works. Right. So now I'm done following the guide, basically, because there's nothing else here. So, excellent. Your new Hyperbola GNU/Linux-Libre based system is now a functional GNU/Linux operating system. Yeah, environment. That says environment. Whatever. It's not like I have to read that exactly word, but who cares? Now it's done. The system has been installed. Yes. I did check the available file size off camera also, so I should be able to install a desktop environment easily enough. There should be enough space, and I also took a backup of the disk image, the hard drive disk image, in case I mess up something or I run out of file space or something. Available disk space. In case I run out of that or something else breaks, I can go back to that disk image. So let's see. There's nothing here. Okay, so pacman as. Let's just get to it. It might be that if I install LXDE, it's gonna come with all the. Doesn't have LXDE. What could it be called then? It might come with all the dependencies like the Xorg servers and all those might be dependencies already. I don't understand this. What is wrong with this thing? How am I supposed to use this switch thing? Is that correct? Search. Does that search? LXDE. What is LXD called then? How am I searching? It doesn't show anything. Does it show anything? Yes, it does show it. The search works. So does it have to be exactly right? apt has the neat ability of being able to work like that. Does that work here? hdo. Okay, so everything that has hdo in it. So there's whatever tool and yeah, console. I don't know why that came here. Okay, so that works here also. Good. I like that. That's good. So then if I do lxde and that, does it show me lxde lxdv drip? Are you saying that there's no LXD desktop environment? Maybe there's something beginning. No way. Is there no? No, it doesn't show anything. So maybe the starting doesn't work like it does in the apt. You know what? Interesting mention. I like to use the apt list to actually search for things because I can just do like this and then lxde and that. I usually search for things in the apt package manager like this. I write apt list and then the star lxde star is called asterisk, isn't it? You know, asterisk lxde asterisk. That's what I would do with the apt package manager. Then it just lists out everything with lxde string in it like that. And if I wanted each character individually in the correct order like that, there might be anything in place of those stars, any length too. So as long as those characters appear in that order, it would find the program name. So that's pretty cool with the apt package manager. But this doesn't seem to have that functionality because when I do this, it doesn't find that anymore. What if I do that? What is this then? Okay, I think I understand. Yeah, it does work. Okay. So does it not work at the beginning? It doesn't work at the beginning. Maybe there's just no package with that name. Okay, try hdo then because I know that's there. That's interesting. Okay, so but that still works because no. Well, yeah, that's really weird. It doesn't work at the beginning. Are you saying that there's no LXDE desktop environment here? What? Where's my LXDE desktop environment? Come on. Are you seriously saying that there's no desktop environment? LXDE desktop environment? I want to install LXDE desktop environment. Is there OpenBox at least? OpenBox. OpenBox is here. Okay. It is one possibility. I might just install OpenBox, but let's see if XFCE is here. XFCE. That doesn't return 4. XFCE 4. That doesn't return anything. KDE. What is that? Maybe there's something wrong with the fucking search tool. I don't like the pacman. The pacman is my least favorite package manager that I've ever used. I don't like it at all. It's just difficult to use. And it doesn't work properly. Not the way I would want to use it anyway. apt is of course my favorite package manager. Super is also pretty good. But the pacman is just horrible. The syntax is weird and doesn't make any sense. And also I'm having difficulty searching for my programs. GNOME, it doesn't have GNOME. That screen is getting too cluttered. What? GNOME, common GNOME themes. Okay, so it's finding all those things. Okay, so I don't need to have those asterisks at all. So it finds those things without the asterisks, okay? But then, what is this nonsense? There's no KDE desktop environment then? What a strange distro if it doesn't have KDE desktop environment. What? I might be using the package manager wrong. The search function I might be using wrong, so... But that's strange. Plasma. I have no idea. What? doesn't have KDE. I wouldn't use KDE anyway. I don't like it, but I'm just trying to figure out how this thing works. Doesn't even have. It doesn't have anything. What's this? Ice Window Manager. Ice Window Manager it has. Okay. I could go with Ice Window Manager if that's what it takes. But I would like to have LXDE. Pacman X LXDE. No LXDE. Where's my LXDE? Oh, and also, actually, the thing mentioned something about the back then the keys. Should I do that still? Key init. Something about init keys. Init freedom. That's not it. Keys. Key. It's difficult to find anything here. Pacman then, because it has Pacman. Pacman. This. What? Where is it? SYU. Oh yes, it wasn't here because it was in the manual. Pacman conf, yes, of course. Etc. Pacman conf. No, it is pacman.conf. It was here where the key things was. Yes, of course, right. So the command you wanted me to run here. Yeah. Now what you must have. Pacman key init. But I already ran it. Did it work back then when I didn't have internet? Pacman key init. Probably might have worked already back then. So the search function does return something, but actually let's run the regular top to see what's going on. Tasks 148. That's quite a lot of tasks for just a base system. What's taking so many tasks? That's nonsense. Like this is just nonsense. I don't see what this doesn't mean anything. These are nonsense. Top is just a weird program. It's barely using any CPU. That's pretty cool. Is it using 4 GB of memory? So it would seem. Interesting. Well, anyway, quit. But where's my LXDE desktop environment? It doesn't even have aspects. What does it have? GNOME was there. But I'm not installing GNOME. I don't like it. GNOME theme. It has GNOME Common. Development macros. I don't care about development macros. Extra themes for GTK Plus based applications. Canvas library. But does it have the actual desktop environment? I dislike this package manager so much. This Pacman doesn't make any sense. It's difficult to use, and I don't understand the syntax here at all. And I just don't get it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. It is the exact opposite of the intuitive way I would just use a package manager. I much prefer the apt like I have mentioned. Like it just makes sense. You just write the thing, like it's basically just English. But this is some weird. What is this? That's not English, that's some weird SS. And it doesn't even return anything sensible. GNOME Common, is that the desktop environment? Is that what I would install if I wanted to install GNOME? I don't know. Who knows? This doesn't seem to work like it does. I don't know what this is. It returns something, but then it stops working. It looks like it could be working like it works in apt, but I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. Tab doesn't help at all. Let's see. Actually, no. Let's see. But I want to install LXDE. Let's actually see. I might survive with Ice Window Manager. It wouldn't be my preferred choice for this virtual machine, but I could use it if that's necessary, and also the OpenBox window manager I can install because I could find that there, yeah. Pacman OpenBox. Highly configurable and lightweight X11 window manager. But I really want to have. Actually, no, it doesn't have. What does it have? Why is there nothing here? What kind of a distro is this? It doesn't have anything in the repository. It doesn't have pacman FM. It's like the fucking file manager in LXDE. What does it have? What does this thing have? What am I supposed to use with this thing? It doesn't have XFCE. No. LXDE is missing. I guess this operating system isn't meant to be used with a desktop environment. What's going on here? What is this? Does this say something about... I can't find the part where it said something about something. I don't remember anymore. Maybe I'm just imagining things, who knows. Oh yeah, this was... I remembered it improperly. You will have to create a new user, like, yeah, of course, but it's a favorite desktop. Yeah, it says you will have to install your favorite desktop. I can't find my favorite desktop. Where is it? Do I have to do more with the syncing stuff? Do I need to sync more? Oh wait! The Arch packages. This thing could install both Arch and Parabola packages. So maybe they might be in the Arch repository, but they are not here in the... It was only this thing that said something about that. Yeah, that's the pacman key. Populate arcs. So do I need the arcs or something? I'm just confused. Should I enable like the Arch repository or something? Why can I not find XFCE4? Where's my XFCE4? Xorg must be here, of course, but so many Xorg things. I would appreciate it with this installation guide here, where it says you will have to install your desktop if it linked to another page on installing desktop environments. I would appreciate that because, well, clearly I'm having trouble here trying to even find the desktop environment here. Now some repositories have this XFCE for goodies, which contains some of those XFCE environment programs, those programs that can be used with XFCE. That doesn't have any of it, of course. It doesn't find anything. Let's see if this doesn't work like it doesn't. That thing. Let's see. No, that's just nonsense. I don't understand at all what's going on here. This is just, it's not even remotely relevant. It's just nonsense. Like what is that one thing there? A Tauton IP address, IPv6 manipulation library. How does that have XFCE in it? That doesn't seem to work at all like it works in Debian. Okay, it doesn't work. That's not even close to the way it works there. Okay, fine. This is not apt. This is an inferior pacman package manager. Fine, whatever, but I would really appreciate it if I could just find the desktop environment. But what if it just doesn't find it, but it's still there? No, of course not. I forgot I tried that.